When you say California just sort of runs the housing show in the country, why?
It's so funny. If you look back 30 years,
it is an unbelievable. Take all politics aside, that state is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's
unreal.
And that's,
truly,
it's unreal. And
truly.
Over the last 3 decades, that's where the wealth creation's been in America, specifically related to tech. And California goes through these things. Like, it's such a boom or bust state, and people don't realize it. Like, in the early 90s, they didn't have tech in the same way they had now, but they were like heavy on defense contracting in the late 80s, early 90s. And then like that was where the tech was. A lot of defense contractors were there. And then as soon as the Cold War ended, lights out. Huge recession in the early 90s, huge housing crash in the early 90s. Home values in LA went down 7 straight years from 1990 to 1997 by 26% over 7 years. And it's because for some reason, it seems to be that's where like the wealth, whatever like the trend is on the wealth and where the money's being made, it concentrates there. Maybe because that's where people want to be. But it tends to like concentrate in a very singular, unique way. And they don't really have a diversified economy. So then when there's a bust in defense contracting, we have a major recession in California that then also triggers like a housing downturn in other cities that are related to California. Mid 2000s, San Diego's housing bubble was one of the first to pop in 2006. And it started popping there before we saw really the housing bubble pop everywhere else in America. And it's partially also related to the migration. So things get bad in California, the economic opportunity drives up, the prices go up, people start leaving, which then makes the crash happen there first. And so it's just I'm fascinated by California. It's so up and down. People leaving, people coming back.
It's always on fire.
It's always on fire.
Yeah.
It's always
on fire.
Huge levels of wealth, but then huge levels of wealth destruction.
Yes, there's a huge a very massive level of wealth disparity as well.
Oh, huge.
Because you got all the farmers up in the valley, who are just scratching in the dirt to make a living, even up in wine country. I mean, those people aren't rolling in it. If they own the land, they can leverage that. But, in terms of where those super rich people live and how many of them there are and how that skews the wealth of the state compared to everyone else, it's amazing to look at those numbers. And you're the numbers guy, not me. But.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, what's sad about the Central Valley, like Stockton and Fresno and all those places, is that, I did an analysis. Actually, one of my biggest trending YouTube videos was looking at the worst cities in America. And I looked at it through...
That's some clickbait.
Oh yeah,
worst cities in America. Did you get some real friendly comments on?
People liked it, generally speaking, because when I make these videos, I don't hypothesize.
Yeah,
I apply data to it. So that's what I did.
You're not adding your editorial.
No. I said, what are the cities that have the highest unemployment rate? What was it? Oh, it was 3 things: high unemployment, high crime, and expensive housing. Like, you shouldn't be able to have a combination of those things.
Yeah.
Right? It should, because if you're high unemployment and high crime, homes should be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But the cities in California, in the Central Valley, are expensive. Like Stockton home prices are higher than Austin.
People don't realize
Sacramento is really expensive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then they have high crime and the highest unemployment rates in America. So it's like this vicious, it's kind of like this vicious circle there. And those are really tough places to live.